Bridget really wanted to know, how come? How is this possible? Are you working? Are you doing anything aside studying? And Tabitha told her no.
Divas University is one of the best university here in Abuja. This wasn't just a regular kind of university. It was the best in town. The university every wealthy parent wanted to send their child to. Divas University wasn't just a university for everyone. It was for the elites, people that could afford the school fees. And even amongst the elites, it was for the intelligent student. It was that bad that someone could make A's in WAEC but can't get into Divas University. That was the level Divas University had. It was not a university to be saturated. It was a university for the best. And it was rumored that anyone that graduated from Divas University already has a job position waiting for he or she, because they were not just bringing forth best graduating students, they had the best brain in Divas University. Every parent looked forward to sending either one of their child or all their children to Divas University. It was an assurance that the moment you're done with school, there was a job waiting for you because you're good. Divas represented best and perfect. In this beautiful university, there were 3 roommates: Peculiar, Tabitha, and Bridget. These girls met in the same room, not because their parents couldn't afford the one-to-one room that most students were in, but Peculiar chose to be in 3 in 1 room because she wasn't used to being alone. She was a twin sister and her sister was already attending a different school entirely. She was opportuned to be able to pass all the entry exams, so she was attending Divas. Whereas for Bridget and Tabitha, their both parents were wealthy but couldn't afford a single room, so they had to split a room with Peculiar. These girls were doing well for themselves academically. They were outstanding. All their tests, assessments, everything was good. But gradually, because of the rules of the school that didn't warrant them going out of the school often, because they wanted to limit the distraction coming to the students, it all started with Tabitha. Tabitha often wanted to go out. She wanted to step out. While she was at home, she had little or no freedom from her parents because her parents wanted to guide her steps. So coming to school, her dream of university was when she was in university, she would have the life of partying on Fridays, girls hangouts. But all these things weren't common in Divas University because they were looking for best brain. It was more of academics, competition, things that were going to make you sharp. Tabitha wanted to know what it feels like to be in the world. So whenever it was time for her to take an exit from school, probably to go shopping, to restock her foodstuffs, she purposely takes her exit towards the weekend. She never goes home. She never does anything that was related to academics. Rather, she often lodged in a hotel, then go from one bar to the other, just trying to observe, have fun, do the young things that girls do. And gradually, she had captured the eyes of a very handsome man named Dixon. Dixon was seated by the bar side, having his glass of whiskey when he saw Tabitha enter into the bar. Her curves, her beauty, everything stood out. It was something that attracted him to her. He just wanted to know who she was and everything about her. Tabitha introduced herself. She stated the fact that she was reading microbiology. She was a student, but never mentioned the name of the school because most people referred to Divas University as glorified secondary school because of the strict nature of the school. She never wanted to state the school she was going to. She just said she was a microbiology student, and that was it. With time, Dixon often checked up on Tabitha. From regular calls and text messages, Dixon started extending his hands to sending her gifts, chocolates, flowers on Valentine, and so what. These caught the attention of Bridget. Bridget was amused with the kind of life Tabitha had. The fact that she often got gifts from various angles, chocolates, she was using the latest iPhone, using the latest iPad, her laptop was Apple, and most of these items weren't gotten for her by her parents. Her closet spoke luxury. She was following most of the big brands, Zara, Gucci, following their newsletter and whatnot. Bridget really wanted to know, how come? How is this possible? Are you working? Are you doing anything aside studying? And Tabitha told her, no, my dear, you have to upgrade yourself. You have to package yourself well if you want good things to come your way. So during one of the exits, Bridget decided to follow Tabitha. And when they went out, Tabitha introduced Bridget to her boyfriend Dixon. Dixon introduced Bridget to his very close friend Sylvester. And gradually, the same things that came Tabitha's way gradually started coming Bridget's way. These girls automatically changed their name. Rather than answering Tabitha and Bridget, Tabitha preferred being called Tabby, and Bridget preferred being called Bibi. Whereas for Peculiar was from a very wealthy home. And not just that she was from a wealthy home, she could afford all those things that Tabitha and Bibi had. But now she wanted to know what it feels like having a boyfriend. She wanted to know what it feels like having someone check up on you, have someone send you messages, have someone to lean on when you're feeling down. So she decided to follow the girls to hangouts. And that hangout happened during Tabitha's birthday. Tabitha just wanted to have fun with her roommates. But while they went out of the school, Peculiar decided to get money from the bank. At the bank, she had met this handsome man. His name was Gozie. Gozie wasn't just handsome. He was well-mannered, well-spoken, and he wasn't just handsome. He had money. He was a billionaire, but he dressed in a very simple way, a way no one was going to even suspect. He offered to drop Peculiar to her destination, but Peculiar had told him that she was with her friends and they were heading somewhere else. They exchanged contact and departed ways. The moment Peculiar came out of the bank, she had told her friends about the young, handsome man she had met. His name was Gozie, and they quickly tried to check him up on social media. But they saw nothing. And they quickly asked her, are you sure this guy is wealthy? Are you sure he can afford to take care of you? Are you sure he can actually spoil you, like give you the baby girl treatment? Peculiar smiled and said, my dear, I don't think I need all those things. I just need someone that likes me for who I am. I'm not here for the money. Bridget and Tabitha both laughed and said, we know you're from a wealthy home, but it's the duty of a man to spoil his woman, Sully. It's the duty of a man to take care of his woman. Even if you have money, keep it to yourself. Let him do the spending. Peculiar smiled and said, don't worry. We've not even started talking about relationship. We just exchanged number. The both girls smiled and said, no problem. Please let's hurry for the birthday party. During the birthday party, Dixon came with his friend Sylvester and another guy, Larry. They had introduced Larry to Peculiar. They exchanged numbers. But the moment they returned to school, Larry started bombarding Peculiar with various messages, calls, sending her gifts the same way his friends were doing to other girls. But Peculiar wasn't even interested in Larry. She just felt like Larry was choking her. She wasn't attracted to Larry in that way. Whereas she was attracted to Gozie. Gozie seemed calm, respectful, well-mannered. He wasn't given much of the emotion, but he was there when needed. He was someone that spoke sense. When she needed someone to talk to in a very matured way, she felt like Gozie was the best. She had quickly tried to end things with Larry and told Larry that she wasn't interested. Larry was trying to know her reason, what he did wrong, but Peculiar had mentioned that even if she was interested, that the relationship wasn't even going to last for long, as her parents never wanted her to marry from another tribe. So Larry backed off. She was happy. She was really glad that the whole conversation did not take long. Whereas for Tabitha and Bibi, they were in love, spent the money the way it should be. These girls were the talk of the campus. Their grades, excellent. Their dress sense, perfect. Everyone looked at them the moment they stepped out of their room. They were in different departments, but they came out the same time, went to lecture the same time, did everything practically the same time. People admired them from a distance. People wanted to know what was so unique about them. Were their parents politicians? What was so perfect about them? Their skin, perfect. Everything. They barely repeated any clothes in school. More like as if they came with exact clothes for a particular semester. They were just everywhere. Everyone in the campus knew them. They knew their name. Have you seen Bibi? Have you seen Tabby? Those girls got everything. Do you know that Tabby was carrying the latest Zara bag? Everyone had something to say about them. But gradually, Peculiar noticed that she wasn't concentrating the way she used to, because she often followed these girls out of school when it was necessary and when it wasn't necessary. She kept on following them. Her grades was gradually reducing. Whereas for Tabitha and Bibi, their grades were never reducing. And she kept on asking herself, were they doing something different? But the truth there was that they were not doing anything different. Tabitha and Bibi could use a day to study everything and still ace the subjects. That was how good they were academically. Peculiar gradually started reducing the way she was hanging out with them. When it comes to leaving the school often, she gradually started reducing it. But at the same time, she often wanted to see Gozie. One fateful day, she had gone out to see Gozie, and Gozie sat her down and spoke to her. Gozie looked at Peculiar and said, "It's not that I don't love you, neither is it that I don't care for you. But one thing I want you to know is that you should be able to know what's your priority. I crave to see you the way every other person craves to see their girlfriend. But the fact that you told me your result wasn't good last semester, do you expect me to be comfortable with the way you come out of school every time to see me? That's not it. I want you to place yourself as priority. Whenever you're free, whenever you're comfortable, you take the normal exit and you come and see me. My arms are always wide open for you. Do you know the issue with human beings? Is the fact that we seek verification from everyone around us. Because you think your friends always come out from school to see their boyfriends, you think it's okay? If they are good at burning midnight candles in one day and excelling in class, are you also good like that? I don't want anything that is going to affect your studies. I love you and love everything about you, Peculiar, but I want you to choose yourself first. Don't do things that your roommates are doing because you think you want to feel among. You might enjoy it now, but much later, you will wish you did not do it. Having a very good result, it's something you should be proud of. And that's something I should be proud of as your boyfriend too. It's not all about coming around, eating, hugging, and doing whatnot. It's what I see beyond just you. So please, Peculiar, can you understand me? Can you just please understand me? I don't even want to see you coming out of your school if it's not necessary. I'll always come around to pay you a visit when I can. Peculiar looked at Gozie. She felt really, really bad with those words. Even if they were true, she didn't like the way he said it. But she had to understand. She didn't want to force anything out of Gozie anymore. Gozie was here expressing the way he felt about her academics, and she was the one that should be doing that. So she told Gozie not to worry, that she was going to focus on her academics and do the things that were necessary. Gozie told her no problem. They hugged and Peculiar left. But with the passing days, things started gradually changing in their life. Peculiar concentrated more on her studies as Gozie had spoken sense to her. He loved her, he cherished her, but he did not want her to miss out in life. Whereas for Tabitha, who was dating Dixon, She wasn't satisfied with Dixon, being that Dixon's money wasn't coming the way it used to be. Things started reducing. Dixon always complaining of business. Something went wrong. Something happened. Something did not happen. Tabitha's eyes started looking out for another mother, another guy, another person that was going to satisfy her the way it used to be. She wanted to maintain that level she had already created for herself. She wanted to maintain that class. She started looking for someone else. And she found. It wasn't too long. She found a very tall, handsome man named Kenneth. Kenneth spent money on her like no other. Kenneth poured money on her. Whenever she needed anything, Kenneth sent more than what she's demanding for. Whereas for Bibi, the same way Dixon was having issue, Bibi's boyfriend, Sylvester, was also having issue. Being that Dixon and Sylvester were not even having any serious business, they were put Yahoo boys. And whenever they had money, they spent it on the girls. And whenever they didn't have the money, they tried to avoid the girls. Bibi wanted to maintain face. She didn't want it to look like as if her boyfriend was bad, as she didn't want to start changing boys as if she was changing clothes. She tried to manage Sylvester the way she could. Whenever Sylvester sent her something, she just accepted it. With time, Sylvester found out that she was going to Divas University and started extracting money gradually from her. It all started with people. Please, I'm sorry. You know, I've never ever done this before. Please, can you loan me ₦1 million? I'm going to send it back to you. The moment my goods come, you trust me now. You know I'm capable. You know I'm more than that. I'm going to send you back the money. Bibi sent Sylvester ₦1 million. Even before he paid back that money, he kept on borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. But Bibi kept on giving. She could afford it. She had the money, right? Her monthly allowance from her parents was almost $500,000. She had the money. She tried maintaining herself in school. She tried not showing that she was broke. It got to the point that Bibi even gave him her school fees, hoping that he was going to pay it before it was time to pay school fees. Sylvester promised her heaven and earth. He promised her that the moment his goods arrived and he cleared the goods, he was going to send her ×2 of all the money she had spent. Bibi kept on believing him that this was going to happen. And gradually, it was time for them to write an exam, and Bibi had not yet paid her school fees. She called Sylvester. She called him numerous times. Sylvester initially picked the call, but when he heard it was time for the school fees payment, he started avoiding her call. In fact, he permanently blocked her. To make matters worse, Bibi had never visited Sylvester's house before. They always met in the bar or hung out in the hotel, so she does not know where Sylvester lived. In fact, there was no way to track Sylvester down. Bibi did not know what to do. She didn't even know how to call her parents to inform her parents of the mess up she had created for herself. She started looking for ways. She had to talk to her parents about it. She had lied that when she was going to school, something happened to her phone, and as if the person emptied her account. Her parents were surprised and said, but we gave you the school fees 3 months back. So how come you're just telling us now that your phone was stolen and we've been able to contact you since then? So what happened? What are you trying to say? They were seriously angry with her and even told her that making money wasn't easy. But because it was the exam week, they had to pay the money. But the moment they were done paying that school fees, they never gave her school fees again. In fact, her dad had reduced her monthly money, telling her that she was going to gradually pay for that school fees in her own way. If she felt that making money was that easy, then she was going to gradually pay for that school fees. That was how Bibi learned her lesson, and that was how she found out that Sylvester was not to be trusted. She gradually started following Peculiar back, knowing fully well that Peculiar was more devoted in school. After the exams, before they went home, she sat Peculiar down and asked her, what changed? I noticed you don't follow us like before, and I noticed that you're always reading your books. Peculiar smiled and said, because he told me to. He told me that if I don't make better grades, then he's not going to hang out with me anymore. Bibi laughed and said, that your boyfriend self is funny. Peculiar smiled and said, yes, he is, but he's very, very serious and intentional. That's what matters. He always sent me gifts and everything I need. So, and my parents are also taking care of me. I'm so glad, Seth, I chose him. He seems real. Baby smiled and said, congrats to you. I'm glad for you. Whereas for Tabitha was still enjoying her life. She was still maintaining face, still feeling among the big girls. They had gone home and returned for another section. Tabitha kept on changing boys, like as if she was changing clothes. Baby turned to respect herself. She had learned her lesson in her own way. She tinted more to the side of Peculiar, who was a very serious-minded student. Tabitha kept on leaving school unnecessarily just to have fun, until one certain day, she met the wrong dude at the bar. While drinking, this young man had walked up to her, asked her name. She told her name, my name is Tabby, I'm a microbiology student, and whatnot. After drinking, the young man asked her if they could have more drink in his suites. Tabitha accepted. She was already a street girl now. At the moment they got to the suites, they had fun, after which the young man transferred her a huge sum of money. Tabitha was happy. She had made up her mind to go shopping before going to school. She had told this young man the next morning that she wanted to go for shopping. He took her there and even bought her more clothes. Tabitha was glad. She could not even wait to brag it to her roommates. He trotted her in front of her school gates. More like a monitoring spirit, he followed her. She had never met someone that did this for her. But the moment he dropped her in front of her school gates and zoomed off, Tabitha fainted. The security men at the school gates quickly rushed her to the sick bay. And when Tabitha finally woke up, she did not even know who she was. The nurses and doctors from the sick bay tried to contact her parents, tried to contact people on her phone, and they were opportune to contact her parents and contact her roommates. Peculiar and Bibi did not even understand what was going on. They never knew that Tabitha had broken up with Dixon. So, Bibi decided to call Dixon to find out what had happened. Dixon then told Bibi that Tabitha broke up with him long ago, before they even finished the exam last section. And that was when it dawned on them that Tabitha must have followed the wrong person. Tabitha's parents came to the school and they tried to do everything, but Tabitha did not even know her name, what more where she was. Her parents had taken her home in order to carry out prayers and, if possible, take her to a better hospital. Until this very moment we speak, Tabitha does not know her name, neither does she know who she is. Thank you very much for listening to the story of the day. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please, this story is to encourage both young girls and young boys out there. When you go to school, please focus on your academics. Don't leave your academics and chase pleasures that you're still going to enjoy much later in life. There is time for everything. You have to climb the step one at a time. If you humble yourself and go to school, you'll find out that you're going to benefit more. You're going to benefit much more than you ever think. If you see in the case of Priscilla, the eyes of Priscilla gradually opened because of her boyfriend Gozi. The eyes of Bibi opened because she lost her school fees. But the eyes of Tabitha never opened until she met her doom. Please do not forget to watch our stories to the end, and also please do not forget to like, subscribe. So we'll see you again in our next story. Bye for now.